they talk to the director of communication na EDSA. We na Sir Nepo. We go give update on what EDSA they do for improve the light situation, especially na the capital city Freetown. And also inside the program we get forget civil society representative. We go talk about them position on the light situation. For Sika, I want to welcome Sir Nepo inside the program. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, 98.1. And good morning to listeners.
For a while now, we're already getting a good morning salon on light issues. Welcome back.
Thank you.
What are the latest?
Well, I want to first of all appreciate 98.1 for we EDSA this platform for that we come and make known to the people within the happen within the energy sector and particularly EDSA's operation. Yes, of course, we all know say EDSA and the agency that they were responsible for ensure say we supply electricity to every Sierra Leoneans. And I want to make this very clear for say over time we don't own up to that responsibility. There, somebody will ask how and how we don't do it. I will start with Freetown. When they unbundle EDSA, we get MPA, we get BKPS. So then government be unbundled, and the unbundle come about with three agencies. You get EDSA, who are responsible for supply and distribute. You get EGTC, who are responsible for generate and transmit, and we also get EWRC, who are the regulator, that are like an intermediary between we, the suppliers, and the consumers. So particularly EDSA, we responsibility now for supply and distribute. We mean to say where it come to then transform them the network distribution infrastructure. We include transformers, meters, include poles, LV panels, cables, connection to customers' premises. A wholly rest with EDSA. So over time, we don't do visibility studies. We don't do other studies for ascertain the strength of the network and whose side will get gaps. So based on the outcome of some of them studies, then be able to develop projects, and then projects then be aim for ensure then rehabilitate and strengthen the network distribution infrastructure. Because mind you, even if you get bulk generation available, if you don't get the distribution infrastructure for transport the power from one point to another, that generation capacity will just stay useless. So when we develop them projects, and we are government of Sierra Leone, we also therefore seek support from donor partners. We got the World Bank, the AFDB, and other partners. We don't come in for help. So I will begin like for one of the projects that we will be do in Freetown, and the project we call ESOP, the Energy Utility Reform Project. The objective of that project, we
can look at the project them, but let we look at the current situation now. Why blackout done plenty?
So now they come. I just lay the premise for let people understand what not happen and why we get some gap and what's in the plans going forward. So we get this energy utility reform project, and because we discover see we get a network will be problematic, that make that project become we will attest to the fact say people MBC over the past 3-4 years we see installation of poles, installation of new transformers and communities, erection of LV panels, extension of electricity to new communities, unserved communities, and so forth and so on. All land will be done for strengthening the network. Of course, will be yield so much dividends for in terms of probably adding up to we supply capacity, probably give helping us for we generate some amount of revenue as well. It will be helpful in that direction there. Also, that project they be done. Then we come to another project with the e-sleep. The e-sleep now a project where also they enhance access to electricity. So inside the distribution network they look at. For instance, now if you go, you get then substation them. We get two different types of substations. We get primary substations, then we get secondary substations. So the primary substation and they receive bulk. Now at the bulk evacuation point. For instance, if power come on a Bumbuna, we come now that primary substation, now they then they accommodate them. We accommodate them, then transmit them now to the secondary substation. We now, for instance, Bukfisia, then get a secondary substation. By Lodge, you get Godrich, you get Waterloo, you get Wellington, and other places. So we do the interconnection today for ensure say we get seamless distribution and supply in terms of electricity. So for instance, quick one, if you go Aberdeen, you see one big primary substation we don't build it. Now because we don't do studies and we don't discover, say Aberdeen they grow on a daily basis, and then consumption don't increase tremendously. So that particular primary substation they did it for accommodate bulk power and distribute to Aberdeen and its environs, so that people not going to get shortage in terms of supply of electricity. That is. So now we don't, the Eastleigh project also do design, supply, and installation of AMI meters. Of course, you got about AMI meters. Over time, we don't get these bulk prepaid meters who they install now people in business centers. But again, what they do, the customer they interfere with them prepaid meters, thereby diverting the settings. And once they do that, we don't forget revenue required. And at the end of the day, we go for pay IPPs, we go for pay EGTC, we go for pay other generating partners based on the power we generate. Right. So because of that, they would not install bulk AMI meters now business places and large end customers and places. So now if you go to the hotels, you go to the restaurants, you go to the big offices, you see one big meter. I feel like transformer, but not transformer, now just big AMI meter. It did it now. It get communications model. So like for instance, we commercial departments and EDSA and the director general, they can sit down and go to the system. They will check the customer in consumption pattern. Okay, that is also able for strengthening our operations at EDSA. So we don't do that. So now those are some of the interventions. Also, we get this respite, of course, respite ongoing. Now, solar projects we include not just Sierra Leone, you get Togo, you get Chad, you get Liberia. Okay. But Sierra Leone they benefit over 40 megawatt, 10 megawatt there for the Lungi, and we get 30 megawatts now Newton. They add up to the already existing infrastructure and Newton. Okay.
So now Nepo, you just only
the premises, yes,
and on some of the thing they want I don't put in place as way for make people get lights. But again, my colleague just ask you why the Boku blackout.
So at the count down now. So yes, of course, we want for make people they know say we don't talk over time for say we strategic plan. And we know the requirements of not just Freetown but the country at large. But again, one thing about electricity, not a thing we instantaneous and it happen overnight. But you get benchmarks and we get for meet, you get for set baseline, you get the manpower, the infrastructure, the finances for ensure say you roll out your strategy gradually. But I want to make people they know say yes, of course, over time we don't achieve a lot. Of course, people then will attest to the fact say there are areas who nobody gets access to electricity. They now have access to electricity. People then nobody get meters. They now get good high-end technology meters. People then they suffer because of transformers. They now get transformers in the community. Areas they suffer. Even Bukfisia they suffer from low voltage. But we don't strengthen the network. That not happen again. Although we still get more work for do in other communities because Freetown big, Sierra Leone big. But the hope is that EDSA they gradually implement not just donor funded projects, but also we own internal projects that more able for fund. For ensure say we able for sort out some of them technical problems and so that customer will get seamless supply of electricity without any hindrance.
So you don't talk about interventions and also the preambles them and projects them. More on them projects than they and the source of energy them we are use now. But why the current situation?
So let me make it very clear. I think we've already discussed around it. We will also get studies where prove say the previous network will get a limited capacity for handle. For instance, the internet would be formulate them lines them here. Then just think of probably the current population then and probably just project and add more over time. But over time we don't see growth in the consumption of electricity. For instance, I would tell you see before by around 2018 we get now around 230,000 customers we get. Now we are almost 4 we are almost 400,000 customers on the grid. That is, say, we don't like double. We tell you, we speak to increase access, forget electricity. So, and if we don't increase access, it means we don't do more expansion. It means more customers they now get access to the grid because they get meters, they get transformers, they get cables, they get poles, they get every panels that have communities.
So is it because of the number of people now we don't come on?
So now they come.
Now cause the blackout.
Now they come. So now we don't get increased access to electricity, which is good for us, not just as EDSA, but for us as a nation, because that means to say we gradually achieve we strategic objective. But again, we na Freetown. That take Freetown in particular because now the customer they complain much more for some outages. Few things we can happen with the cause outages. I can always talk say we get standard two types of outages. We get the total outage, then we get the partial outage. Total outage can happen when we get disruption in the network. For instance, we get line with the span from Ivory Coast Takam, we get line with the span from Bumuna Takam, Makeni, Mabruka Takam, Freetown. So if any tick for another line there, if any problem occur another line there, it causes total outage. But also we know say we also get a problem in generation capacity. That is another problem we get. It actually not sits within the purview of EDSA, but that's a challenge. Why that's a challenge? Because over time we don't see a growth in the customer database. We mean to say more people they don't connected, more businesses don't connect, more industries they can't own as alone. We mean to say we get for cater for more generated
now Nepo,
so what in the happen now?
All the
just done this.
Very important. But the question that we will ask
so,
now that why the blackout?
So now they come. So now what do they do? Because we get some, for instance, if Freetown need like 75 to 80 megawatts for let people don't get electricity. So, but we get around 70 megawatts. So that it tells you there is a deficit of 10 megawatts. So to do now the system as a network operator and EDSA, we initiate what we call load shedding. Load shedding means to say, for instance, initially, me they live in Godrich. Godrich be get a capacity of 8 megawatts. Then like last year, 1 or 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, 8 megawatts. Now Godrich alone they account for 13 megawatts. So and we're not going to forgive Godrich all 13 megawatts because other areas and forget access to power. So what you do is that we get transformers that success, we get transformers that other areas within Godrich. So but for instance, success transformer, it feed Boku area, go feed Bango Farm, it go feed other areas than Godrich. So within that same transformer that we can do what we call load shedding. We can put some areas off for a certain period, probably 5-10 hours. We put them off, we put out other areas and on. We do that for let all my able get access to electricity.
So this Boku blackouts, is it now lights not available at all, or now the transformer there?
No, lights available.
Lights, how much megawatts would they use?
I just tell you, would they use around 70-75 megawatts.
But according to the sector lead for energy, Freetown need about 130 megawatts. But for now, they 60 to 70 megawatts. You can say that's enough.
So not enough. Even
so in short, now lights no the.
No, like the sector leader you say, this is what is required for let all sides come on at the same time. But again, would they work on that make it the sector leader say we get different type of plan. You establish the short-term plan, establish the medium-term plan, and establish the long-term plan. Now, it says in the short-term plan, we obviously get car power. We are one of sources of generation. We also get, of course, Makot. We get Bumbuna, even though we all know we are now in the dries, and in the dries we can encounter challenges when it comes to getting power from Bumbuna. So what we normally can do, we get car power ship for close the gap with Bumbuna the crate. And not tap around the sector lead make them very clear say the short-term plan, and I forget both Watila engines, now Watila and Nigata, now Blackout for them come on. So and he make that promise there, and I want for tell people that I say as we speak, Watila don't come on.
Okay.
So in they provide 9 megawatts, where they add onto the already existing generation capacity. Where they increase on generation.
It's over 15 minutes now, or 20 minutes where you explain the listeners. But the key thing this morning are that why the blackout in Nepal?
I just established it. I don't deny it.
Is it that Nakapawa ship out the machine because government's not able to pay?
No, so Usman, I think say we all know the art of Sierra Leone, we all the inside Sierra Leone. We all know say Kappa ship there. And what Kappa ship they on, you don't know say Kappa ship they on.
If you go on, but if you go off, you don't say the supply.
So me and you and we listening audience can easily go and validate whether Kappa ship they on or they off. But I'm for a shop we don't see Kappa ship not go off. Kappa ship they on continuously. That they supply their grade capacity where they're supposed to supply to the government of Sierra Leone.
All right, as EDSA, are satisfied with the way how the light system there at this moment?
Usman, I don't make it very clear. We get a broader strategic plan. We mean to say we get with vision as EDSA, USA we want for go. But again, we will not reach it to want for go. But even though we will not reach it to want for go, we try very hard for ensure say what is available, what we able for make available for the public for make them able to get electricity on a daily basis with the drum. And for sure you say free time not get blackout as people and some people they talk about them. Yes, of course, there are certain areas because of load shedding activities. So if we get for begin announce load shedding activity because there you know see if like to go off my area 5 hours, let you say between 4 to 8 o'clock, you never forget access to electricity. That's very clear because if we make that day, it will give you an insight to say no. If somebody can talk say I not get light for 1 week, you know see a lie, they lie.
Okay,
so the thing is very clear.
That's how we would because some area the light go 3 or 4 times inside 1 hour.
But let's tell you back the other thing we Hamburg will supply capacity and also we make some of the information they want for release to the public with the think and small. Reason being that Usman, you don't see a situation here. We don't get many conversations. Here we install transformers in our communities. People they go to the fertilizer and transformers. Just imagine, Bo Kenema gets a brand new network. We got a project called the Bo Kenema Rehabilitation and Expansion Project. As we talk now, one of the primary substations we're responsible for interconnect Bo and Kenema with the other surrounding villages. Them people then go there, then vandalize the whole station, then take the heavy panels, the accessories there out of the station. Then it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. The government and donor partners to look at now. Then they are a hindrance between the operations. Okay. But these are not foreigners who they do. These are Sierra Leoneans. So just imagine, go to Kenema. Plenty places them against transformer station. They don't go vandalize them. And once vandalized, they burden again. They come to EDSA and come to let them go and place them transformer. I mean, it's not done as well. In as much as EDSA, they try very hard.
We come back to you. We just take a short break. When we come, you continue for update listeners them about things then so far we don't happen in the energy sector. Talk to civil society. We are Marcos Bangura, Executive Director, Citizen for Democratic Accountability. Good morning, Mr. Bangura. Welcome to Radio Democracy.
Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning.
Okay, Mr. Bangura, how you could describe the light situation at this moment?
Except we are somebody blind or reluctantly don't accept the facts, but it's an impeccable truth that we get lights, but the lights not strong. We face a lot of problems because of that. We are going to describe as energy poverty. Saloni suffer from energy poverty. So the light system poor.
Right. So what do you think are some of the causes then, as a civil society?
We get several factors that we I feel say responsible because year in, year out, we get the likes of the communication mans we in Nepal. They tell we the same thing for the past years or a decade. We know say nothing not change. At the same thing always they tell we about constraints that we say in the face, but they not find solutions to them. About finances, a lot of challenges they bring out. But me get the strongest conviction, say, some of them is far from the truth. Because if we say we talk in terms of budgeting, if I check, like we at the do me research, they put facts together. If you take them from 2018 to now, the number or the amount of resources from international partners is plenty. I can say over $200 million. Because EDSA or the energy sector not get one support. Then get a lot of support from various institutions. In 2018, for example, World Bank gave about $40 million USD. And again, we get a lot of ADB, African Development Bank, at around 2020 and get about $30 million. You also get a lot of, for example, UNDP as well. You get, if you check the one that we like amount between $70 million to the $40 million we World Bank give, you know, from specific institutions, and some now for a specific project, others now ongoing. And they don't can get specific amounts we don't go give, say, now this amount they give every year, it's based on the project. They don't give money for accessibility. If you look at we electricity accessibility of the country, it is within 35%. It's based on arguments. Some keep put on 30%. Sometimes conservatively, a government official will say na 40. You know? So like, now then what you said, if you look at we electricity system, they look at they use thermal, where you get to call they use like diesel. You know, we costly, we very, very expensive. We did different alternative like solar. I drew, irrespective of the fact that we get the hydro project. We almost see for some time, for quite too long, the project, you know, they work effectively and efficiently in the sense that when you talk about Bumbuna for 2 phases, now one government we don't focus on, government will put all together, right? And when they talk about EDSA as an institution, governments all together, most of them show lethargy, you know, in the area. Now, if you look at the car powership, for example, I think it was on Monday, I came with a publication where I say car powership, an economic vampire, sucking Sierra Leone's resources. This time around, Adeline gives government small consideration and look at the car powership because of the fact, say, the amounts too huge, they're going to contract. You get some, they tight them in a way that if EDSA not pay or then late for pay, then kind of then they either cut the lights or they limit them. If you look at the present situation.
But this contract, after the 2018 election, the government may renew again.
Yes, in fact, one important thing and I want to that we exploit the country, because if you look at how many times we don't renew them, right? All the time you get a set of people, a possible say a new administration they come or a new setup they come, they decide for renew. Why they renew? Now, if you look at the car you talk to, you look at the fact that there was a time that we say governments be owe, is it about $40 million? And if you look at that period to now, they expect say for cuts, but it doubles up to $90 million. And the project, if we continue with it will drain the resources of Sierra Leone because the contract in general, if I can take the words of Honorable Kandel Bukela, at the end of the contract, it is suspect say like we go to spend like then $300 million. Then we can ask the question, because I read it talk say we forgo back and revive the Kintom power station, the Blackout power station. Then that we say if at all we been get them power stations they also do then get issues. why in the first place we not focus on them, right? We put resources in them, but rather we turn we attention to the car power ship.
Now, looking at Kintom Power Station, where they provide about 10 megawatts, and also you look at the Blackout road way to combine that, then two machines then combine they produce about 16 megawatts, where means say government could get 26 megawatts electricity when they produce for themselves. You think say that would be preferable than for buy na the car power ship, or for buying the car power ship preferable than a run generators?
Not enough. It not necessarily means say they not go empower them. You understand? If we just say we use the one in there, we face more issues, we face more problems then. You understand? But we need them for back them up. You back them, you empower, buy machineries and all that kinds of things for make it become effective, create new areas. You understand? Because of we outdated machines, that is a very serious problem. You understand? You look at the cost. Now, if you look at the West African region, make a take for short within the Mano River Union, we electricity price per kilowatt per hour is more expensive than Guinea, Liberia, and Ivory Coast. You understand? And all that now because of the expensive nature. EDSA they spend more. You understand? You get for buy diesel, not even light, not heavy, fuel oil than they use. You understand? We make it very expensive. They look at we infrastructure very poor compared to their countries and they all that put together they make it more expensive. You understand? So looking at the nature of we price system, right? Then you look at the fact say we money they pay is so expensive. Then we pay tariff as well. Then government they claim say they subsidize. Then for God's sake, why we reach that particular height?
Why you think say government they claim? You think say they no subsidize?
If government, because me own research proof say government subsidy is smaller than Liberia. Liberia they use hydro. One factor we make the electricity a little cheaper. You understand? They provide hydro. You understand the infrastructure far better than us. Now for we, because make us say for some time for quite too long, we come in, we go out. Me and Nepo don't meet up several times, but are the same old stories all the time. You understand? The same old stories, nothing new. So it takes the EDSA or the institution or government for redouble the effort, stand tall. You understand? For because donor funds, they come as well. You understand? Donor fund they come, now prepare to they pay. You understand? Of course, I will sympathize with them one kind way. If they say, because I would have to back, make me to do the sympathy, they will tell which they say, they don't destroy them, the power station, now this side. And for say, would they live in the state of nature, where everybody behaves as he likes, where there is no law, no order? We have law. If at all, then destroy one area, we forgo all out for make sure say, we bring the people in the book. Say it is the law and not bad that is supreme. You understand? But if every year they read the same story, they don't destroy cables. You understand? Power stations are down. They will face the same problem. It's like we are retrogressing. We need to progress. And it's high time we able for put things together. It affects it to talk in terms of how it affects people. In the first place, it will show inequality because the rural poor between the rural poor and urban areas.
Okay.
Areas they don't pay, they don't support for accessibility. Those people are suffering there. You understand?
Okay, Marcos, we'll come back to you for continue for discuss this issue. In name na Marcos Bangura, the civil society representative inside the program Good Morning Saloon. If you just join, we remember say we look at the light situation na the country. We get the director of communication na EDSA, we na Sanepo, they will be inside the program also.
The program Good Morning Salon, you continue still inside the studios. We get the director of communications, na EDSA, we na Nepo. Nepo, you know you're waiting Marcos don't say, and the concern we don't come out from the public now that we understand say government or car power ship. Is it true?
Yes, of course, government or car power ship.
Almost.
But I want to tell you say
Almost.
so at the camp. But I want to tell you say the amount we government through EDSA or car power ship, they on car power ship review right now. I know the contract for come to an end in June, so they don't get a meeting all sector players they don't review and some of the outstanding debts. They don't also discuss them, not to that's alarming, but they don't discuss them because it happen. You get two kind of payments to happen with car partnership. You get the government side, where government pay, they get EDSA self to pay. So both payments can able for sum up to some reasonable amount to make car partnership still the supply right. So, but again, as we will be here from the sector lead, the review then ongoing will almost conclude and it's going to be in the interest of Sierra Leoneans.
Okay, almost not the money where we owe them.
So I'm not going to state what it will owe because I don't do some review on the amount we owe them and they don't conclude them it. But obviously, once that is concluded and the new agreement they will come up with, EDSA and the sector and other sector will come to the public and inform them accordingly as to the agreed points and waiting at the way forward.
We understand. Say now, una they pay car powership direct. Is it true? I
don't say we get two forms of payment. We get we own
meaning because according to the honorable get yesterday, EGTC now then they generate the power and then get to una, but now una don't somehow balance way now una get direct contact now with.
So I don't really want for base me submission on waiting honorable say yesterday because now a political statement in make yesterday they are not realities.
Okay, so meaning which is not to.
So I said a political statement in make yesterday. I'm not here to represent any political party. I'm here to represent EDSA and I speak the facts. So what I for say Kappa EDSA getting components when they pay, Kappa MOF gets to government getting components. So I'll come to you ask if I don't listen to it Marcos. Yes, of course, I'm for begin for make I'm very clear for say in the rains we had sufficient electricity supply. We also get two seasonalities. We get the rainy season and we get the dry season. Obviously, in the dries, what happens is that the demand they outweigh the supply. And the reason for that now because Bumbuna, because we are in the dries, Bumbuna don't reduce on in generated output. Now it give you around 5-6 megawatts. But I have to make them very clear. Even as that, we don't get Marcote. We don't get, of course, we don't get Watila. We don't come on. We get car partnership on the grid. We mean to say, Usman, if you observe, if you do a trend analysis of last year power supply will be available to this year power supply within the same period, you will see you will observe tremendous progress. Now the end of February, check end of February last year to this end of February now and compare, you will not say, will they make progress with regards to sustainability in the dries. That means to say the plans and what they put in place, then they gradually take effect. So that one. Also, we want to agree for Marcos talk. Marcos make it very clear for say like day, tell like day. We also support some of the statement that I make even before it come for say like day. But like as I say, the current demand at this particular time outweighs the supply. So now the power available, but because we don't get some drops from Bumbuna, even though we don't make power don't add up to in grid, but also recently we don't get Watila, don't come add 9 megawatts, we don't increase we capacity again. And also you will also observe say because of that increased capacity, we don't also ensure say we don't reduce on load shedding activities. Again, I want to make them very clear say all of them load shedding initiatives that we will implement now for protect the integrity of the network. Because for instance, if this network for take 5 megawatts, but the demand don't rise to 8 megawatts, you get to be careful technology wise for ensure say you able for play within that demand for disturb the network. Because for instance, the network they are for establishing they run into hundreds of thousands of dollars. So why should they work with donor partners on we project them for ensure say we expand on the evacuation capacity, we expand on the next network distribution infrastructure. We also get for be responsible enough for ensure say we able for manage and preserve the existing infrastructure. Why should they work on expansion so that customers will continuously they get electricity supply without hindrance? Another thing.
Nepo.
He also talk about some amount of figures where he say you don't come into the energy sector for either rehabilitation, reinforcement, and all of that. I need the deny say money not only come at the sector for improvement. Yes, of course, but I want to say for every donor fund will come is based on established projects, and the project gets specific objectives. If not for supply of 40,000 meters, whether not AMI meters, whether not procurement of 40 transformers, all of that is the project pack. And once that is in the project pack, that is what the procurement is going ahead with and get them and done. And because of some of the interventions there, that I may could see a steady growth in energy access. So it's about energy access as well. It's about 35-36%. So you make reference to 2018. Yes, 2018 it was 16%. As far as me know, by 2023 we are 36%, and after 2023 to date, we don't do several interventions. More mini grids don't add to the flow. More areas don't get access to electricity. We mean to say, based on the studies what they do now, we don't complete that. We go there about 40-45%.
Now we there about 40-45. Look at the side them way una they use thermal plants, and also Freetown way people they pay for lights. People they buy the lights, not to prepaid, not to postpaid, a prepaid meter they use. Then pay them money, then get the lights. And when they talk about debts to Kapawa and other thermal plants that around the country, they get challenged for run them, and when they can ask them say fuel, the money where people they buy lights with, what think happen to them?
So what did they explain? So that is what it ought to be. Now, so before they operate na Sierra Leone, you because you use prepaid, you forgo buy, you put na meter you use. But let me tell you the logic, what is happening around. So now what people they do is, so man they go buy 100,000 top up, or as the case may be 200 or 500,000 put on a meter. Then they bypass the meter. And they bypass the meter in the sense that when you look at the face of the meter, you see the display of the top up balance to the left. But if you further probe into investigations, you will discover say they don't bypass the meter, so they use the meter, they use the power without accounting for it.
So is it that so, they generate enough money for able
so that is
offset
one so that is one big challenge we have, and that make we don't go to call loss reduction strategy. Now you see, in fact, most times with the call 98.2 and they go cover the stories. In fact, last week we do them again. 2 weeks ago we call 98.2 and they were there. We're gonna Aberdeen Road. Just two houses. In fact, we had a plan for come the whole of Aberdeen, but just once I will start, we meet at one big mall, one shop. They get like 3 or 4 stories. We then get over 6 to 8 meters. Usman, every floor will go, we catch abstraction. It was reported by 98.2. Every floor goes. One of the next.
But what do they do then connections if not to EDSA?
So that is a mismatch. EDSA. We don't talk for say. We know they demystify the fact say we not get bad workman in EDSA, but based on records, if you go CID now, most of the people that do the whole abstraction are people them they don't go study but electricity and then institutions they wouldn't get knowledge. For instance, Usman, you know that for say where people they wire them inside the house them, not to EDSA they call. So until you say don't get experience on Andy, they will call private electricians where they create the fact for say there are private electricians out there who get knowledge in electricity.
But
obviously,
in the way they sample to na system without na no
we not get for the meters.
We not get monitoring mechanism for no.
So now make now what we don't do, we don't get meter we call AMI prepaid meters. Those AMI prepaid meters now get communications module. So for instance, what would they begin? The sector lead we talk in service for say we go for begin, and he say that they begin out with then as leaders and they host them for go install up. So once they begin installing inside the for instance, if they install one that you host, we did not get communications model. They communicate with EDSA. So now we able to them, we check with system, we know what you consume last 2 days ago, and what's now your balances. So we able to know. Then also if you interfere, they communicate, they show red alert for say this person don't interfere with the meter. So like they show you the red flag, they will go for going to your host and conduct investigation and apprehend you and find you. If you find one thing, they can charge you.
Now, apart from the debt we on our Oka power ship, again, the honorable talk about the audit report yesterday. We are in a mention say on our ONRA 60 billion.
When I make a talk say na a political statement.
Now a political statement. These are figures that within inside the audit.
So I tell you say
You can read the audit
so
report.
I tell you, if you go through the audit report also, the audit report will tell you, say, probably at the time when they conduct the audit, some documents were asked from EDSA or from NIA. We will help the auditors for balance the book. Probably those documents were not available. But I tell you with fact for say, EDSA now owe NIA that amount where the Honorable mentioned yesterday.
Alright.
EDSA don't owe NIA that.
Before we take break inside the program, the former Chief Minister in Finance, Minister Jacob Jusu Safami, they announced the money we want to save every 2 years. We now something like $18 million or so. Almost when I don't save at this moment. Since we look into the contract back.
So no, would they look into the contract? Will not complete it. So that means to say
2018, this government kind of power. They look inside this contract and review and
what the former chief minister will tell you was that at the time the SFP government came into governance, when the SFP party came into governance, then we meet the car power, but beyond begin operations at that time. So, but everything we don't go through negotiations, tariff, and all of that. So then the current government will look at the agreement and think and say, no, it was just on the high side. So then decide for renegotiate again and bring down the cost a bit lower. So what the former chief minister will tell you is, because of the negotiation, they'll be able to save government this sort of amount.
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years. So now we are going to renegotiate again. The government will renegotiate again. We are optimistic that in the negotiation, of course, the sector also can say the interest of the government of Sierra Leone will be at the hand. So that is what that is expected.
Continue for the way to inside the program. When you come back, you can tell me, but what are they in charge of the account where people they buy meter top up with? Thank you.
Sanepo, before we come to Mr. Marcos and look at messages, them concerned on the come out from the people of Lungi. See, for the past 3 to 4 months now, they need to get light, and this now the gateway to Sierra Leone. Outside the airport, when you come out everywhere dark. What's in the happen now, Lungi, for Sika light?
Thank you very much. Yes, the only thing I would say is that that period where the person tell you say they don't get lights, that's not correct.
Okay.
Yes, of course, we will get a period where we get challenged with the thermal plants in Lungi, because Lungi now connected to the grid of the Kaya. So Lungi and the thermal plant line will provide fuel, a come on and supply. They get alternate days and whether they get electricity supply. But I think they will not get the materials, the spare parts, and as sure say therefore don't complete that thermal plant. So that is what I understand. Fuel they don't care for good. Therefore don't deploy fuel themselves and care for start the generator and see if and test them. And I believe once that is completed, don't go come on back with full power supply.
Even before this incident where you mentioned, see now the problem now the machine poly within they make now, Lungi know that they get lights like how they used for the getter.
Yes, now they tell you what will be do because of let's say the problem at Lungi. Lungi will get light continuously until a time we people in Lungi, residents in Lungi, and themselves go then pull all the transformers, almost all the transformers in Lungi.
All the transformers,
most of the transformers. I don't know if we see them to the extent that in one of the stakeholders in Lungi, we go there, they even do bonsoir in Lungi. They do bonsoir. After the bonsoir, I think they get their own tradition in Lungi. Now they tell people and all of them thief the every panel, the cable them, they all they gather they come to the paramount chief for Kalefande. So and just imagine after that 10 days now, the owners be now on EDSA for ensure say we go now try take new transformers, new every panel, new accessories for begin put on communities them gradually one after the other. It was a big challenge.
If you talk to people of Lungi, then go tell you say na fuel EDSA no able supply the generator.
So I tell you say there are times who will not to fuel we get. If you supply fuel, the fuel not go team up. If we go into the machine for let it generate light. But if the machine gets problem we need to be fixed, you know go to fuel you go pin am. Of course, not a recipe for some other thing. So now that could be say once then complete the EPS, we they go. Also, additionally in Lungi, we get serious challenge in Lungi. Another thing they go discover in Lungi will go the office and that most of the meters them they don't look for finger until you don't boil. Most 70%. So now also we are
planning. But they get meter, then forget light.
Yes, so when I tell you, they will get light. If of course you get meter, they get light. I just tell you, I just don't tell you the rundown of the challenges that we will be facing in Lungi. But the assurance is most of them challenge them. Of course, the transformer side, the every panel, the stringing side, don't they complete am. And also, as I tell you, we even get another 10 megawatt from the Respite project. They don't do visibility, so they don't begin to deployment of the materials in Alunge. So then the project at 12 months to 18 months. So then they would don't just know. Then Lunge gets 10 megawatt addition to the already existing generators and what it is. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. But again, the big thing again, we will not self as media, we not need for help. Now this issue going to do with vandalism and electricity theft, because of course we issues that happen in our communities where they experience power outage, we not say they advocate on their behalf. Equally so, it go very, very prudent for them. We not say they advocate on behalf of the sector, because the sector they go through a lot. Just imagine that money we EDSA or the Ministry of Energy use now for go replace all them destroyed infrastructure in Alunge. They follow use them for do extension on other communities,
right.
And it happen all over, not only. So now it's not just about EDSA. It has to do with attitudinal and behavioral change. Because not to imagine where World Bank come in the meeting with the sector lead. You know, they said the sector lead. They say this not ever happen. Any country go the sponsor for a whole primary substation. Na Bandama, then go destroy everything.
All right. What about the concern about people where they allege say now they make their house burn?
So you know, in as much as we sorry for them thing that will happen with then people them around where they complain say their house them born, but we also believe say we light not to just one house it go. We get it's interconnected. You get from one host to another. So of course, if na bad light we send, then it
so can send bad light.
If condition, I don't know based on what you talk. So if the people send a bad light, send according to the Vox Populi listing, that's the reference I'm making. But that bad light, it jump host A, it jump host B, it go meet up just host C. Now no more get issue. Then there is a cause for alarm for letting check.
Okay. So and also, na the cause.
I not say now we na the cause.
No, adjust the
so
ask.
Meaning it requires some investigation. Also, let us also not forget the fact that we only get one competent authority for investigate fire outbreak and bring down reports.
Right.
We've had reports and we obviously we also the born the first thing we people do the other na EDSA. But I'm for tell you see, if you go check fire force, most of the reports them they don't collate based on outbreaks them. Then it don't result in to EDSA.
Okay, continue for the meeting inside the program, Nepo. Mr. Bangua, you are really concerned with people raise on the Vox Pop wherein they allege say because of the frequent outlight they go and come, now they cause some of the problem that will happen at this moment.
Yeah, I would say that's is a public opinion. Public opinion that the aggregate of views where the public gets about a particular issue. Because always, especially then term the dry season. We know say the dry season at the time that way we face light problem. And at the time this way us the born plenty. We see I think 2 years back, very close to me us born. I feel the heat na me outside. Because I be like opposite. When I go inside, I feel serious heat. I think the opposition leader at parliament himself in Osborne, then was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? So the space at which hosted the bond is plenty. Although yes, sad is say yes, you put an argument, you get nine interconnections, Osia, a jump going at the other side. But that the way back way the lights they come because we all know say the lights like where somebody talks like it's like camera now. Like you snap yourself, it's like say EDSA said the snap man now. Because it can just come and go. And the area of light, we then say people are the thief light, yes. I hold that conviction, they say yes, people are really the thief light. Again, we have to look at the situation. Like me also wanted, I not be there come out about 2 years ago. My wife just called me and tell me say, people ain't come. I see allow them inside because I want to be in the house. Understand? You know, we all rule the whole play. When I go, I rush car, even way I reach those, I not just go up, I call 2-3 man of us. They say, from EDSA, they say 2 meter. And that is 2 meter. So they come for can check. So they go up, they claim all side, they come. And they say, well, they say, that not get problem. I say, I want to see 2 meter. Una see 2 meter. Meaning that EDSA able for monitor. You understand?
Okay.
Then we'll get some, and we'll get some. You understand? So they're able for monitors. If they're able for monitor, then one day with the thief light, because it's bad. Like me, they spend between 800 to 1,000 every month. Like me, they spend per light. You understand? I know say majority of we Sierra Leoneans, them, right? They spend huge amounts of money.
All right.
Despite the fact that you want to turn me off now?
Yeah, we just want to look at few messages them.
Okay, I come back.
Yeah. I respond to this first one I will take from Samuel Wise. He say who that they eat EDSA money, EDSA Oka power ship $90 million, EDSA ONRA 60 billion. Now prepared with the use, we not they get light. Who that they eat EDSA money, we want for no.
This one from Lolo Gasparini, now Facebook page, they say Sierra Leoneans are wait comfortable with not having light and have just been for decades. Ideally, not having light would be a national crisis, especially in 2025. Like, there is absolutely nobody in government that is under any pressure because of light, and it's always been like that.
It's concerned citizen from Cannon Street. He say from where we cable cut and begin spark since yesterday. We don't call EDSA, but nobody no respond. No wonder we people then they call private electrician then for work for them because the customer care not the function.
This one from Ibrahim Mansari, our Facebook page, they say Sanepo, what is happening in Lungi? Should we forget about lights?
The last one I go take for now is say thanks very much, Mr. Bangura, for your idea, and also EDSA, please be honest to yourself according to the song Joe Hills.
This one, the last one from me, is now from Osfred Kamara. They say energy challenges in our nation needs a concerted effort with a complex technical approach model. Blame avoidance ideology must be a thing of the past in our strive for sustainable energy. We then messages there with the count to we studio guests, then Nepo can respond quickly. We come to Marcos Bango.
Thank you very much. I think one thing with the Minister of Energy, who also doubles as the President of the country, in vision now for attain energy sovereignty, and in achieving energy sovereignty, it don't lay out the plan, the short term, medium term, and long term, and we'll almost achieve the short term. We are now going to the medium term. We are going to forget the respite project. Of course, Marcos talked about the Momona phase 2. That phase 2 project, they're on suspension for us, but there's another addition where government already they can begin for bring way now like around 80 megawatts to get for add to the already existing Momona capacity. We now another addition to regeneration capacity. We get other. Of course, we look at options like Guinea because Guinea don't be supply even to Liberia. They also get the capacity for supply to Sierra Leone. We want for also add on from Ivory Coast. So, and also we build on we own energy infrastructure.
How much would I get from Ivory Coast now?
Around 27. So we want for build on we own infrastructure. For instance, I tell you about Watsila and Nigata engines. And if you're gonna bow also, you're gonna the powerhouse, they don't take engines and the generators and they complete the installation. Also the sector lead tell now see we go to that Dodo will be the supply both Bo and Kenema with around 6 megawatts. And it's going for increase to 10 to 12 megawatts. And once done the complete, also you will able to have Bo, Kenema, and even Kono. And also we don't get them surrounding towns. For instance, you get Moyamba, Pujon, where it be connected to the grid. We also know about the 7 district electrification project. Then they at an advanced stage, over 4 of them communities now they get power supply on a daily basis almost, and the other one then will be connected to the grid. Okay. So a lot of interventions are being made for ensure for say we attain energy sovereignty. So there is assurance, there is hope at the end of the tunnel. I want to let people to know see yes, of course, at times like this, we day in the rains, in the dries, and because we day in the dries, we get a gap from Bumbuna where it creates a small shortfalls. But the assurance is within EDSA, we don't put some reforms in place. We get technical man that all over we substation them that they monitor for ensure for say each and every customer gets access to electricity on a daily basis.
Plenty thank you for joining inside the program. Over to you, Marcos. What do you expect from EDSA going forward?
I expect much from EDSA. I don't listen so much from EDSA, not to today, not to even yesterday, but for a very long period of time. They always get very good proposals there. But for put them into effect, that's a problem because all we think Sierra Leoneans need now and for make them get the light, just like we talk about energy sovereignty. Quite recently, in January, the president, among other presidents in Africa, they meet now Tanzania on the good discourse on energy, development for the African which itself. And I hope say within the president go land as Minister of Energy, we can at least if we're able to put it into effect. And most of which they tell them not to so much about thermal plants, but therefore try very, very hard for make sure say they focus on solar, use lots of other things that we have put in place. But when we talk about accessibility again, we know say they reach to certain points then, certain towns then. But after the launching and all that, they still suffer out of light. Not so merely for just say we don't count lights at this particular place, but that consistency.
Okay.
But if the light's not consistent, it's a very serious problem.
Thank you.
Affect the economy, affect livelihoods, and huge lots of other things.
Thank you very much, Marcus Bangura, for joining us at the edition of the program Good Morning Salon from the civil society world. We can talk on the position on the energy sector, and also plenty thank you to the Director of Communication na EDSA, na Sanepo. Plenty thank you to the production and technical team for putting this edition of the program Good Morning Salon together.